The PrimePutt Tour Quality Putting Green might be one of the best putting greens we've seen come through the doors here at MyGolfSpy. But does it beat out the likes of BirdieBall, Big Moss, or me and my golf? Stick around to find out as we showcase the best indoor putting greens. First things first, the putter is the most used golf club in your golf bag, especially for weekend warriors like me. Yet, so many of us don't practice this aspect of our game as much as we should. That's why we're diving into indoor putting greens. Before you roll your eyes at me, I'm not talking about that indoor artificial turf or that old scuffed up putting green in your local pro shop. We're testing products with actual turf that resembles actual greens. For some, you can create a break. Others, you can control the speed, and some, you can even change the direction of the grain. All of this from the comfort of your own home. For testing, we're stacking each of the putting greens up against roll, durability, portability, and features. We have 15 products in this year's test. All right, let's get into it.
All right, first we got PrimePutt. Ooh. She's a biggin'. All right, that's the mat. I think this is probably the backstop. It's supposed to stop the putts from rolling off. That's helpful. Yeah, I mean, for someone like me who hits the ball really hard, that's definitely gonna stop the ball from rolling off the back. I think it's designed to also keep it from bouncing back to where the cups are, which is nice because you're not blocking the other holes that you're gonna be putting to. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, and these are the cups. The cup design on these is really good. So if you get a close-up of here, it's a little slanted towards the back, so as soon as you make it, it gets out of the way. So then if you're putting in the same cup, you can continue to hole out the rest of the putts. Oof. Looking at it, I love the color. The color is like the first thing I noticed with the putting mat because, I mean, this looks like real grass to me. You get some that are too bright, maybe too washed out, like this artificial green color. Like this reminds me of a putting green that I would putt on, you know, any golf course here in America. So yeah, so first impressions, it looks very similar to what we have here in the facility. I mean, we're working with really high quality stuff here to make sure we get a true roll. Looks to be made of the same style of nylon synthetic turf. So that's really good. I love to see that. Breeze through setup, let's hit some putts.
Hey, do you need your putter, man?
I do actually need my putter.
You want a right-handed one or a left?
We'll go left-handed for now. Thank you, though. It's my custom lab putter. It doesn't make me a better putter. Guess we'll find out, right?
Oh, man, flip out.
But we're really testing the backstop right now. And I said that too, like.
Well, Connor is notorious for hitting putts a little too firm.
I've done a few where there we go. I mean, it's rolling really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty smooth. You know, if people are watching, they can kind of see how we have this overlaid on top of our putting green here at the facility.
Yeah, man.
And you can see that it's kind of the same texture.
The roll's good here, hit a couple. Yeah, hit a couple. I mean, it rolls really true. Like that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for something that's too fast. We're also not looking for something that's too slow, right? We're trying to mimic the type of greens that you're gonna be playing on. Because ideally, that's how you're gonna get perfect practice. You're only gonna get better if you have a good practice setup. And it rolled really well. Like I said, very similar to what we have in here. I didn't feel like it was wobbly. There we go. And again, it wasn't too fast, which we've seen with a lot of other putting greens. Yep. See, and I love this too. Look, like he's made two, the ball's rolled to the back, so it's not blocking this last one from going in because he's gonna make this one. Yep, perfect. You still got room for another ball if you want to do 4 at a time, but.
Yeah, I mean, like Connor said, it rolls really great. Easy setup. You have the backstop in case your speed's a little off that day when you're practicing. And then like he said, one of the neatest features is the collection of what the cup does. It allows you to putt multiple putts. You know, we have our practice facility here where it's obviously a cup in the ground. This is just a little plastic piece that allows you to kind of putt at least 3 to 4 golf balls at a time. And you can do it for all the 3 different cups that are there.
Oh, it's gotta be. I mean, hands down. Like it has everything we're looking for when we're looking for that roll first and foremost, right? But we're looking at the durability. It's a high quality, durable material. It's not gonna get wrecked by pets or children, or you wear a pair of golf shoes on some putting mats and it rips it up and you're leaving footprints. This is not that. This is durable. Again, the features like this backstop, the cups that allow you to, you know, hit 3 to 4 balls without having to pick them up. Like all in all, it's a top contender, absolutely.
And there's also a little neat little thing here. Is you may not be able to see it, but they have little markers here subtly on the side of the mat, which is basically a 3-foot indicator.
We'll do. Casey, say something to Mike for us now. Big Moss Augusta. Use for the string drill. Okay, so this is the mat itself. So that's the foam backing we'll put on it. Yeah. I mentioned color a lot. Like color like this, in my opinion, is just far too bright. It's not that the color is going to make a difference on how it rolls, right? But if I'm getting a putting mat, if I'm shelling out the big bucks or something, I want something that looks like real turf, feels like real turf, and that comes down to the color as well. So it's a little bright for my liking, a little too unrealistic in that way.
The putting surface that we have underneath the Augusta here, this is, if anything, it's a golf course that's been sprayed out of season to make it look greener. You just saw the PrimePutt, very realistic putting surface. Roll is probably truer to what most people are gonna play on. You had the simple cups.
Yeah, everything else is ancillary. I mean, like you got some cup inserts if you want to make the hole smaller, which is, I mean, that's honestly a good practice tool. Some practice balls. There's some stuff for the string drill if you want to, you know, line it up and make sure you're hitting it straight. But yeah, I mean, for what we're doing, our testing purposes, we're set up. Other putting mats we've seen, stuff from WellPutt, will have different alignment lines of practice with. But this, for our purposes here, we're just gonna freaking roll some putts, man. Right off the bat, there's no backstop, so if I start to hammer some of these, they're gone. Just like that one. Oh. I mean, first impressions, it's fast, it rolls. I mean, I wouldn't say it's too fast, but it is pretty fast.
Well, one thing too that I noticed, and they might not be able to see it on camera, but it actually has foam underneath the mat. So he's actually putting uphill right now.
I am putting uphill. And no. All right, Philip, you'll probably have better luck than me, but.
Well, I made 3 for 3 in the other one. I'm not feeling too good watching you putt right there.
Nice, there he goes.
Definitely first impression, it is faster.
Faster than PrimePutt, absolutely. There he is. This is why he's here doing the test.
So, but again, real quickly, I've hit 2 putts, I've made both of them, and both of those golf balls are just nestled right in the front of that cup. Versus PrimePutt, they settle towards the back and there's actually an entrance for that third putt, if I were to make it. But, as you can see, it didn't cause any interference. So, but definitely rolls faster.
Oh, absolutely faster.
Definitely tick faster. And again, we're kind of putting uphill. You can see here, there's actually some foam inserts below it to raise where the cups are.
I mean, for me personally, it's gonna be the build quality. I like having the ability to putt uphill with this foam, but it feels kind of cheap to just have a piece of foam that you glue underneath it. At the same time, if you look all around the edging and the stitching, this is stuff that's gonna easily get torn up after wear. If you're wearing any sort of spikeless or spiked golf shoe on this thing to get a practice in your real shoes, like, I mean, you're gonna be tearing up the stitching and the edges here. Yeah, so the durability on this one is gonna be my biggest concern personally, outside of the color that I mentioned earlier, where it's a little off-putting.
Having played an array of golf courses, the speed on this is, in my opinion, too unrealistic for what most golfers are gonna play on. I mean, this is probably just spitballing, but it's probably rolling at a 12, 13, 14 on a stimp. Most people are probably gonna be playing 9 or 10, maybe even slower if it's a municipal course or your local just city-owned course, whatever you may have. But for me, that's not gonna really put me in a prime position to get speed and distance control down because it's too smooth and fast of a putt.
This guy in here, baby. Look at that. Yeah, that's a big guy. We got the BirdieBall. This is their indoor-outdoor one. A little bit different than the classic BirdieBall, where this one's more of a nylon turf material instead of a foam. So a little more heavy duty for indoor and outdoor use. Oof. Hence why I'm panting a little bit as I take this thing out. This guy weighs a lot. Yeah, not only is it heavy duty, you saw me struggling to carry it in, but like it's kind of hard to set up. Now look, the rubber bumpers are nice. Like I like having these, right, so you don't roll one off the back or off the side. Obviously I'm prone to that, but getting them on is just way too much of a pain. It's like almost better to just leave them off at a certain point. Same with the cups. The cups are a little harder to put in, but I do like the little flags. I know they can customize these too, so if you want to get your own logo, similar to kind of the cups we have in here with our logo on it. You can do that, but I mean, other than that, the impressions are good, man. You know, first off, again, very similar material to what we have in here. The color's looking realistic, right? That's what I like to see. So all that's left to do is kind of hit some putts. Yeah, and I think that's why they market this as an indoor-outdoor mat, right? Because you set this up on your patio for a party, you have friends over, you set that down, that thing ain't moving, right? So it's also designed to take a little bit more of the weather, right? So this one is gonna be more durable than, say, the Big Moss Augusta that we were looking at earlier. And again, because of the weight too, right? It's not something you want to lug around very much. So you're going to set it and forget it. Oh yeah, durability wise, this one's going to stand up for sure. I mean, again, I'd have concerns about how these rubber bumpers do, just because if you're going to take them on and take them off, they might start to stretch a little bit, and they're already getting a little bent up just from storing them in the box. But the rest of it, I mean, the mat itself, which is really what we're looking at for durability, is going to withstand, again, a little weather, it's going to withstand pets. That's why it's good for use outdoors, but also, you know, indoors it's gonna be just fine. Dude, every putt I hit, I miss. It's not good. This is why they got me practicing on these things. There we go, okay. So it nestled right in that little spot right there. So each of the cups has 4 little spots to, you know, kick it out of your way. Yeah. It's not too fast, which is what we've been seeing with a lot of the other mats. And the roll is really good. Again, like I would liken the roll to that of what we have in here. If anything, maybe a little slow for my liking. And that can be one of two things. I mean, probably maybe the grain that they're using here of this nylon is just a little bit different, maybe a little bit too long. But I mean, it does roll true. It's not wobbly. We're looking for a lot of that, especially on that last putt I hit where I hit it a little slow. It's not wobbling off its line. It's staying true to where I was aiming, where I hit it. You're looking for a mat that, you know, the error is human error and that's it. So I missed that putt. The mat didn't make me miss that putt, and that's a good thing. This one's heavy too. Let's get this one out here. Big Moss Commander. So this is Big Moss's, I would say, probably their flagship one. We've looked at the Augusta. This one is more realistic for Big Moss here. Big Moss known for their durability with the Commander too, so this one's gonna be, you know, for my estimation, more durable than the Augusta one that we looked at. We do got these foam wedges. I'll just talk about this briefly. They give you these to break into the mat if you want to practice some breaking putts. It's not an elegant solution. I wish it was a little more elegant than just foam, but it works and it's light and it's easy to put in the box, so. Let's see.
That look good?
That looks good to me. Big Moss, again, they're always good with the accessories too. Like throwing a little chipping mat if you want to set this off to the side, you know, maybe back here and practice a couple little chip shots. But again, that's not what we're reviewing today. We're strictly looking at the putting. So let's talk about it. Again, similar to both PrimePutt and the BirdieBall indoor-outdoor, this is the material we're looking for, right? This stuff that's more similar to what we have here. It's nylon, it's more realistic, looks and feels and rolls more like real grass, real turf, what you're gonna find on the golf course. It's gonna be more durable than the other Big Moss we looked at. You don't have any of that ancillary stitching or the fabric going around the outside that's gonna get snagged or pulled. Again, I don't love the foam backing. I wish there was a more elegant solution to creating this ramp, because the foam, I mean, it's foam, right? If someone steps on that, bends in the wrong way, that's broken, and you're kind of SOL. It's not really any bumpers, nothing keeping it on. Just a little piece of foam underneath the mat and a little cup. Generally, I'll hit putts from close, medium, and far. Again, because the mats are all different length, we'll get a 12-foot mat and we'll get a freaking 6-foot mat. You can't hit the same length, but again, what we're looking for is just that true roll when we're testing the material, looking for things like wobble, and you can test that at any distance is the key here. Oh my gosh. So that one I left a little short. Been hammering everything else off the back. There it is, okay. Yep, we'll see if I can hit one in and if it's gonna stay in the way. Okay, we're good. So, I mean, it rolls better than the Augusta for sure. The Augusta, if you remember, was the bright green carpety material. It was just honestly too fast, right? It doesn't mimic any greens that I'm playing on, let alone maybe the PGA Tour guys. We ain't that, I ain't him. I need something that's like the local municipal course. If I'm going down Deer Run in Newport News, it's gonna be more true to what we're rolling on here. So I thought the roll on this one is pretty good. Comparable to the BirdieBall indoor outdoor, again, it's a very similar material. Could you say it was maybe a little slow, or did I just leave that putt short? I don't know, but there wasn't any wobble. Yeah, rolled true from my estimation. Sure. Oh, we got the BirdieBall. This is like their foam one, so it's super lightweight. Love setting this one up and carrying it around because it weighs nothing. Might need your help getting this one out. There we go. Oh yeah. And we got our favorite, rubber bumpers. Holy. It's kind of hard to tell what size what. Initial impressions.
Really?
Yeah, this is like the little grassy material that you're rolling on.
Oh, nice.
Again, as I have with everything so far, like the color test, right, it's a little bright. It's not looking too green compared to what I'm gonna see outside. But it's super light, which can be good and can be bad, right? It's gonna be easier to move around, easy to set up. It's not just like a set it and forget it, but how durable is something that's pretty much just foam, right? That's the question, and the answer is it's not as durable. If I'm taking steps on here, you can see my footprints left over. While it's a great lightweight solution to a putting green, I don't know how well it's gonna hold up over time. Guess we'll see. Well, I mean, we're back to like the rubber bumpers that are a freaking pain to put on. But again, like once it's on, it's gonna be nice because it's gonna stop the ball from rolling off the back, rolling off the side. Obviously, we haven't put the flag in here, but you can putt this way if you would like. So you can put your balls down here and then go back the other way. Yeah, if you're starting to get, because again, with this unique foam material and like the little topper that's on it, having this brush is important to brush away imperfections, brush away footprints, helps keeping the green nice. If you're starting to miss putts to one side or the other, maybe you just need to give it a quick brush. But yeah, so that's important to have for something like this. I don't know, man, I mean, should we hit some? This one has an interesting sound too. When you roll it, you can hear the ball just like scooting along, and it's pretty interesting. It's hard to describe the sound. It's like almost like the ball's picking up speed. Now we're missing a ball sides now. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this one. Oh my gosh. But, yep. The thing with this one that I've noticed, obviously, hitting a lot of putts on this thing, is how fast it is. This one is like lightning fast. Again, we've talked about it. You want something that rolls closer to what you're gonna experience in the real world. And for most people, unless you're a PGA Tour pro, you're not gonna find a green that's gonna roll this quickly. Like, I'm barely giving these things anything, and they're just taking off on me. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And yeah, so I'm not knocking that for sure. It's more just the way this material is. Oh my gosh, I'm lipping those out. I'm not hitting those putts hard. Normally on like a 6-footer like that, I'm not running it by like that to where I'm power lipping these things out. It just, overall, the roll was just too unrealistically fast to make it, in my opinion, the perfect practice tool. I think if you're gonna go play one of the nicest golf courses in the world and you're gonna shell out $500 for a boys trip to something like Riviera, or you're going down to Kiowa and you're gonna play on like pristine greens, then something like this is gonna help you practice for that. But other than that, it's just way too freaking fast for anything you're gonna find in the real world. Yeah, I mean, Philip, I think you need to hit some on this too. I'm not gonna tell you what I think, come to your own conclusion, but it's pretty interesting for my first couple hits here.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thinner material than some of the stuff we tried out already.
Are you leaving footprints too?
I mean, I can see my imprints with my shoes here on this, and I'm sure you've already touched base on this, but you know, if you have a pet at home, I personally do not, but if you had a pet, dog, cat, they'd probably tear this up pretty easily.
Oh, absolutely.
One wrong throw of a toy and this thing's shot.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm gonna hit a couple putts here. So you said you're withholding your information?
Yeah, it's just interesting. I need you to come to your own conclusion. Oh my gosh.
All right, well, I was 6 for 6 up until that point, so that's fast.
Hmm.
All right. You put this downhill?
Yeah, the bumper's getting some work today. There it is. Oh.
All right, I mean, you can see that putt, like I'm barely touching that, and the roll is phenomenal. A little wobbly, so that's why we have this brush. We can brush the grain out a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to know who's playing on greens this speed.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what I said too, right? It's just unrealistically fast in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you blew the first one by. Like, I mean, that thing's gone.
And I like barely touched that. So, I mean, for me, yes, maybe a more affordable price point than some of the other ones. Is that true?
Yeah, and it's easier to move, obviously, with the lightweight material.
Yeah, lightweight. You got the bumpers for, you know, maybe some games, or you have a little more control because we saw how fast it is. The ball's definitely going off if you mishit it. But yeah, I mean, unrealistic scenario for people to putt on. Even if you're going to go play a country club, member guest weekend, club championship weekend, I don't know if they're rolling that fast.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So.
No, I mean, the whole thing, right? Putting them on and getting them to stay nice and clean is just a little bit different than where PrimePutt, you've got a solid block of wood that's been cut out specifically to fit that. It sits there perfectly. Yeah, so like overall, I mean, just like fit and finish wise, it's not quite up to snuff for what we're looking for in the best putting green. If we're gonna recommend something that people spend their money on, and spend a decent amount of money on, because putting greens aren't really cheap, then you're gonna go something with a better fit and finish and something with a more realistic roll. And that's why, you know, we've said it again and again, but we're going with PrimePutt.
All right. Enough testing. Let's break down the top 5. At number 5, we have the Big Moss Augusta V2 putting mat. It has a true solid roll and is extremely durable. However, the foam that creates the breaks is rather cheap and kind of boring. Up next, we have the BirdieBall putting mat. The BirdieBall putting mat is plush and it gives you some of the smoothest rolls and is extremely lightweight. Unfortunately, we knocked it in the durability category. The soft foam is great for a true roll. However, we can see it being easily worn the more and more you use it. All right, third place is Big Moss Commander putting mat. This mat offers great roll and is built like a tank, so it should last you a while. Things to consider: the backstop and features aren't as refined as some of the competitors. Our runner-up is another one from BirdieBall. It is their indoor-outdoor putting mat. You're getting fantastic roll, and we believe the rubber bumpers are going to stand up to significant wear and tear. They're difficult to attach, which gives it a ding for ease of use. And finally, at number 1, we have PrimePutt. Not only was it the most realistic putting green that we tested, it also placed in the top 3 for each of our scoring categories. First for roll, First for features, second for durability, and third for ease of use.
And that's why PrimePutt is the #1 indoor putting mat for 2024.